Hi. I'm just going to talk to you quickly about the breathwork session that I had with Sam Adams. Not sure what to say really, where to start. Many people don't necessarily know what breathwork actually is, and I'd heard of it before having the session, but I didn't necessarily know lots about it, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. And Sam was very good initially. She kind of talked to us about what would happen, how we might feel. She talked about the fact that for many people, it brings up a lot of emotion. And I wasn't necessarily sure that that would apply to me. I felt like I'd be fine. I wouldn't necessarily bring up any emotion, but I just thought that I would get some really good health benefits from it, because I do know that breathing, is fundamental. And although we all do it, I don't think we necessarily do it the right way. And I personally know that I don't necessarily breathe in the right way, particularly when I'm doing things like exercise. So I really kind of went into it just expecting some good health benefits and to understand and learn some new techniques for breathing. And that was how I went into it. But man, was I surprised. Initially, I was surprised at how difficult it is to actually breathe in a way that is more deliberate than what I'm used to. But Sam was really good. She kind of talked us through it. She constantly kept an eye on us and kind of looked at, how we were breathing to make sure we were doing it correctly. And eventually I got the hang of it and was able to kind of settle into it and actually start to even enjoy the breathing side of things. But what I wasn't expecting was the wave of emotion that I felt having done it. It was quite bizarre, to be honest. It was quite bizarre how overtaken by emotion I actually was. And not in a bad way, in a good way. It just felt like a release. And I don't know where that came from. I didn't know I was carrying anything that needed to be released. But, it was just, there's a section during the session where you kind of stop breathing and then you kind of just do some, Sam talks you through some a brief exercise in gratitude and stuff. And it was after that we began breathing again. And I just was in floods of tears, but it really wasn't a bad thing. I don't want anyone to think that, because you're crying, it's a bad thing. I personally advocate for a good cry all the time anyway. So for me, crying is never a bad thing. I was just shocked and surprised at how overcome by emotion I actually was just from doing some breathing exercises. And then the session ended. And Sam again was awesome. She kind of talked us through what we should be doing in terms of aftercare and kind of just advised us to relax. And I really did, but it was really just, it stayed with me. That kind of emotion that was released just stayed with me. And I had a nice early night, and I slept like a baby and woke up in the morning feeling really, really refreshed. So I said all that to say that I would certainly recommend doing some breathwork sessions. I would certainly recommend doing it with Sam, because you can do things, lots of different kinds of things, including breathwork. There are many people available to kind of talk you through how to do them, and you can work with whoever you choose to work with. But for me, the impact of anything that I choose to do is not just about the thing I'm choosing to do, it's about the person I'm doing it with. And Sam was just awesome. I felt safe with her. I felt relaxed with her. I felt like she cared about me as an individual, my well-being before, during, and after the session. And she's just, the way she kind of talks you through it, she's very sensitive. Her voice is very calming. It was just an overall wonderful experience. So I would say that, if you're considering doing anything in the space of breath work, definitely check Sam out, because she's just awesome. And the process itself is just awesome. So those two things combined just make it a really, really good experience. Just come objectively, don't expect anything in particular, but you will get the benefits of it. You'll feel emotionally relieved and relaxed, and you'll also feel, from a health perspective, you'll feel better having kind of done some sessions with breathing. I certainly am going to be looking to do some more sessions with Sam. I'd recommend anyone who's listening take at least one session with Sam and see how you get on, but you'll have a great experience. So thank you, Sam, for taking me through such a great experience in such a sensitive way that only I think you can do. I really enjoyed it, and anyone else who's listening, you'll enjoy it too. Thank you.